finale of the Civil War issue is very, very confusing. And honestly, I don't get it. What the hell was this? Hey, I'm Neon Touchpoint, and I'm in the Civil War issue 2. Yep. Now, you even talk about it going down the road. I was looking for the break and John to go to me because at the bank, horrible run to me. I didn't say that's good. And one for the issue 1, I felt lost. So after issue 2, does the thing conclude everything as Smart Little Bell? Not really. So, yeah, it should be fun. Again, what they mean by that? Well, you'll find out. So, you might find agent issue in this weird fantasy feast system World of War. Yep. So, Jojo, see ya. I am. As you can tell from my intro, as you can tell, it's very interesting. Why? You'll find out. What's this? The cards I did with the two at the strangers from the last issue still talking and saying, hey, what up? Yep. Where are you going? The girls, they go, I came all this way. There's something I want to see before I leave. What do you mean when you said Clark saved you? That's what I said. The girl said, they go, but not because he could run fast or hit really hard. He was something while we needed it. He hugged me and my pivot pulled me off a little ledge. Yep. And we see a new percent of light well lit by Clark Kent. Yep, with the greater. No disrespect to anyone back at the memorial. I know it didn't mean well, but if you want to understand his humanity and why he's coming back, read that. Yep. Man died this morning when childless. He died no home, no family, no job, no possessions beyond the Cold War. Anyone who saw him in his final day would not have seen a man be envied. But having had the privilege to know him, I maintain that his life was one anyone should be proud of to have lived, and one that I now feel compelled to share. 742, 20 African American piano player named Edgar Walters, walking an edition on this day in the 570 by newspaper for the first time. He really. Okay, you know what? We'll get about that over this crap. But long story short, too late. All these models said it cut them at the world with Superman fighting all these aliens with Superman to go learning the ways of war. He traveled halfway across the world to save the lives of people who did not know his name. He fought many battles, and in his own words, lost a bit of his humanity each time. His greatest test came on the beaches of Normandy, where he was hideously wounded almost as soon as his boot struck sand. It was a wound that should have killed him. Yep. And she made more wood and she made more gladiators. He spent the next 30 hours crawling from wounded to wounded, keeping his brothers and arms alive or struggling to make conscious himself. Although his actions that day were implied, he was called to do other things in the war that haunted him for the rest of his life. Killing soldiers, he said, with the terrible price we paid. Yep. Cut back to the strangers, which I'm trying to save the life of innocents. Yep, this way. Where are we going? Kent Farm. Kent Farm by the museum. The one over. That's the fake one. They built for terror. The real Kent Farm was this way before that cyber thing trashed it. What cyber thing? What are you talking about? Oh, whatever. And the girls said, come on, they're coming. And cool. After the war, Walter helped bring democracy and equality to Germany, even while serving in a segregated army unit. Upon return to Metropolis, he and fellow veterans became some of the early champions of civil rights. He was one of a dozen men who led March and City Hall protests. Yeah, I see myself fighting at all these gladiators, still fighting. And assuming all to the codes. Years later, he organized anti-war protests and rallies. The people of the 20th Police Precinct and himself, General Hospital Emergency Room, came to know him by name. Yep. Assuming getting beat up, which I'm assuming the codes. Because of a single lane he brought back from Normandy, the police came to know as Clutch. Clutch? That's a weird name. Whatever. Hospital Sarge. He ran for public office 3 times, twice for the city, council, once for mayor. He never won. But he became well known as one who would not let his voice go unheard, never let a community try to be marginalized. Assuming that he had to by the sword, the red bleeding. Yep. Someone who saw Edgar Walter only or laws might have fallen failure. Yep. A failure. A man who wouldn't face death to say comes lying at foreign shore. A fighter who fought for those who could not or would not fight for him. Yep, that's Superman in a nutshell. Pretty good showing himself John decided the gladiators. Yep, so there you go. A man who sends a servant to a fellow man who always strengthened. Yep, pathetic. Oh, it's lost. Yep, he gets hit by Mongo. Mongo said, "Go, you never brought a single fighter. What bother with a sword at all?" Oh, so the fighter wanted to target. Yay! Echo war with a man who taught us how to let these be lived. One number two today, you team right. Fuck. Well, Superman dead again. Yay! My favorite kid, I'm dead buried. But wait, there's more. Yep. And cut back to the two strangers. Look at the Kent farm. That was bitterly blown up. Why did it blow up? I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. They find out the cellar with a boop. Yep. Cut back to the cellar. They open the cellar and they find, well, a ship. Well, kind of. They find a ship, but we'll cut that later. Cut back to, well, Mongo. Mongo said, well, when were you tired of this, I wonder? How many times I saw you that I made sure you were getting? 500? 10,000? How many still have you failed to save? Yep. One day, slave, you will remember nothing of your life but the leader, not your woman, your son, or your own name. You'll be the only soldier of war. On that day, I sing the earth, and you will kill all who want to love you. For that day, you have forgotten them. Just as they have always forgotten you. No, Mongo. Yep. Yay! So make that go. I won't leave. So I believe every channel world. On that day, when every street is free and every light you take pay for, then I'll go home. Yay! You know. So, you know, I call each of us to remember this man. Yep. Remember him not just by name, but by the light you lay and shine every day. But protecting those in need. Yep, the two kids find out to the ship. Yep. By demanding truth from all real and justice from our courts. By leaving great work for those who follow us. You're probably wondering why they have the ship. Best guess I got you to go to War World. Even though that's the death sentence. I don't know why, but that's my best guess. Anyway, long story short, to cut back to the arena, which we're standing ever taller when we knocked down. And we should stop fighting because the acolyte never come. We cut our point or even our ally belittle us. Or because the fight seems greater than what we have to give, then the acolyte would never ours. Yep. And we must find it and try to be brave and selfless, staying to assert them all mankind. And that's the comment. To be continued for this human house about. Yeah, that's how the story ends. That backup story, but I'm not gonna tell you the backup story. They're not important. They're all boring anyway, so who cares about those? Yep. And that's the comment. Yep. What this? Superman's driving the leader on Mongo and finding out what's at the war? What's going on? What's going on with Superman? What's going on with the Tuesday? What's going on with How the Bell? Says nothing. Says Superman channel. Says Superman down in the comments. Yep. I am. And you tell my recount, you talk about book it interesting. Why? You'll find out. What's the story? What's the always by Mike Janet? What's the always actually what you do? When Superman and Guy in the war, so that's pretty cool. I love that fight. It's pretty good, bad and awesome. All of them is good. The two strangers, well, I don't give a damn about them. They look fine, they're okay. They look like okay at best. Not fair also, but you know, whatever. But the acting seems good. All is good. Prevention has been April. Nothing taken away, all is good. Look at the story itself. This storyline is so damn boring. I mean, dear God, let me get this straight. So then the war stuff, we had to cut back to these two strangers who I don't give a damn about, no give a damn about. They're not internet boring. They're not internet killers. I don't give a damn about these two strangers. I don't give a damn about them now. They're boring. I give this even war stuff. I get that, like, near the beginning of this book, now I come up to two strangers, and I keep going back and forth, but pick one story. Are we doing two strangers? Or for Superman? Like, pick one. You can't one without the other. Ugh, that's so frustrating. However, despite that stuff, like, the one thing I'll give Fulker now and deal with Bendis is that I'm like barely just down so damn strong. Button against the damn button. I wish Fulker now is role playing with this story. And some of what will pretty cool bad and awesome. Heck, when she was trying to free the gladiator, is that the other one my target? Like the very one target. That's so bad, you know. That's an awesome Superman moment. That made me smile. That was awesome. Granted, Mongol killed him, but we didn't have those bad, all the bad Superman moments that made me happy. Speaking of Mongol, we'll get to Mongol for a second and the rest of the stuff. Okay. Mongol was in Superman, I don't know how many times I finally tipped out, I don't know how many times, and it's actually an engine concept. And honestly, call me crazy, call me insane. I would follow more of that story because that is far more interesting than the Two Strangers. And I bought for it. If I want to be Two Strangers talking to a Superman, I would be a Two Strangers with Superman. But no, I don't give a damn about the Two Strangers. I can't with Superman stuff. Seriously, I made the best point of this. So, Mongol said, wouldn't show your woman never in your life, but the leader, not your woman, your son, or your own name. You be on show the world. And so, no Mongol, we into the book, until I bring every channel world. That is so bad. That is all the Superman. That made me smile. And that actually give me a lot more hope for Frederick John books on the overpaying script. That is the story of everything. So, I'm happy for it to give me a good Superman and story. That's the good thing I learned about the story. It's bad and awesome. However, what's in the negatives? As I said, this is never a Superman. No. These are about these Two Strangers finding the ship, which I am in the void. That's not important. No, honestly, I don't care what these Two Strangers. I get what Big and Tony trying to say, Superman for everybody. I get that. That is a good message, and that's a good Superman message, I think, for, well, these Two Strangers. Now, what he's going to do with the ship, I have no idea, but I'm gonna go to war somehow. I don't know why they're find him. Somehow that's gonna happen, but who knows? We don't know what happened with the thing. So as far as the Stranger goes, who cares about them? They're not points. Look at him for a sec. Okay, the 10 ending was Superman standing on the step by service to all mankind. That's very cool, Superman quote. And it says you can change features Superman how to well. So I'm guessing my best guess this story continues how to well, even though that doesn't make any sense. Because how the hell it's in a 4 future. So how the fuck did it continue in this book? I don't get it. This ending made no sense. I'm confused. You probably want to talk about backup stories. They're not important enough, boy. They use it. Like the Mid-American stuff is not important. Just skip that book. So Midnight stuff doesn't matter. Broccoli stuff no, the backup story matter. More like skip the backup story. You're not with it. So having the main story itself. It was kind of disappointing. Like, this is a disappointing story. I watched the World War story. I don't want a Two Strangers story. I get a Two Strangers boy. I was reading stuff, but this was a weird future state story. Tell you the truth, it didn't connect it. It felt was scattered all over the place. Granted, I think that was the point. I think it was supposed to be that, but honestly. This is just so disappointing. I want to World War like World War Hulk, not the other way around where I get too shit give it a man. Like, oh, frustrating. But it's not infuriating like Bendis guy. No, Bendis infuriating for Sandy. This was just kind of just disappointed all over the place, to tell you the truth. It's not all bad, but my God, this is just complete disappointment in my opinion. All that for nothing. What wasted? What I say about the story? Yeah, there's a Howard story. It just did nothing. Like nobody on War stuff. Okay, we got War stuff, but that's not bad. We better get any War stuff. It just they're Two Strangers. That's what it is. They don't talk about it. That's not even part of the story. There is no epic climax. Nobody was finding a way to go to the story. No, nothing. It's just all a waste of my time. It felt basically we had a story on the 4 issues, but got straight to 2 issues, and that's about it. Which is just so disappointing with my time. Wasted. You're probably this still kept the chocolate stuff. Ha! No, it doesn't. It doesn't end Superman book at all. It's really more like a one-off story. I thought it did nothing. I now get me point. What the hell was the story? I'll give it that. I don't know if he's there with a dark, gritty, and fucking stupid. We just had a sort of happy ending in quotation marks because Superman was not gonna stop until he share the slaves. So that's good news. Yay for Superman, yay for Clark. That's good for him. But honestly, that wasn't the Tower story. It's just mediocre at best. It wasn't horrible. It was just so disappointing. And if you just cry, this one had a video story following most of the time. Right? All the other features are garbage. Even a point. Anyway, I don't have any points. I'm gonna talk about. This is probably I'm gonna learning. We all just have Issue Water War Issue 2. I keep telling you today. 2 out by stars. One because you went back. This was just not that great. It wasn't horrible like Ben's going. No, Ben's did few. This is just mediocre at best. No, don't mistake. Ben's did story. This is just like did a World War story. I don't know a War stuff. I can get that. I just shouldn't and give it out. Other than that, you're disappointed. You might you can just skip this book. You won't be missing much. Now I'm hoping you're going to not do an amazing book, but we'll see about that when I come out in March and May. But until then, we'll see. But anywho, what to talk about? This is about and those my thoughts on World War Issue number 2. So you pause on put your comment about you. I did weird story. Do you like it? Do it? I don't have a show World War. I've been this whole gladiator stuff and you had to go on Superman and you think we're going to do the story in House of L. Pre-owned Convo. I'm also going to be on Twitter. Pre-owned Discovery Channel for a superstar. Cookies about Kanye. I'll be on story. Play it you can. I'm talking long game. Superman. See ya. Well, if you're going to do better, please, you can do better than this. See ya. I don't want to see ya. Bye.